Okay, my web hosting company has given me a hard time about running the latest version of Laravel on their server because I need 7.1 PHP and they've got 7.0. They've got some workaround hack that'll load 7.1 as the web server, but Laravel uses a lot of command line utilities and so none of them work. So anyway, bottom line is I don't have it on the internet right now. So what I'm doing here is just a shorty kind of run through of what we've got so far. It's very, 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 very rough, very early, but it's basic. So here's the home page as it's set up right now. This is just straight vanilla Bootstrap 4. Nothing special. These are either panels or cards. I can't remember, but pretty straightforward. So these are categories, so I can shop by category here. Eventually, we'll have tags and subcategories and full text search and all that good stuff. But right now, we just have categories. So there's a couple categories. You'll notice. Let's see. Products can be in different. Same product can be in different categories, um, which that may or may not drive you crazy. I initially didn't like it, but I've seen it all over the place. So I guess if you had a hiking boot, it could be both in shoes and outdoors or sports or whatever. But anyway, so each category can have an unlimited number of images that go along with it, and it just picks the first one in the list to show. So we'll pick an item here. Here's the product. Same thing here, unlimited number of images per product. And we see here for a second. There it goes. It'll scroll through them. That's a configurable option. Some people like it, some people don't. I kind of like it, at least for the demo purposes. Unlimited number of options. This is all real rough cut right now. So for instance, some people like to change the price when you change the quantity. I generally do that, but I've noticed a lot of sites don't do that because they don't want you to get sticker shock right up front and bail. They want you to wait till you get to the shopping cart before you figure that out. But we'll just throw a couple of shoes in here, different options. Add to wish list. Oops, no, that doesn't work yet. We'll go ahead and throw it in the cart. Real rough cut cart right now. This doesn't work. No coupon codes, anything like that. So we got a couple tennis shoes. Actually, it says one. In reality, there's two because this page is still under construction. Let's come over here. Tennis shoes. We'll get this test item. This has just got some miscellaneous stuff in here. We'll add one of these color item, color, whatever, red. Add to the cart. Okay, ready to check out. By the way, there's backend admin here. There's nothing. I clear out all the orders and stuff. This is set up through OpenStreetMap. It's just got some dummy data in there right now, but every time you place an order, it's automatically geocoded on the fly so that down the road, um, for instance, when you put the customer will show a map. I saw that on another site and liked it. Also, I want to be able to break out sales by region, and you can, with a geocode, you can break it all. You just do a great circle, pick out anything with 100 miles, a state. If you've worked that before, it's pretty straightforward. So anyway, let's go to the checkout. Very basic. Obviously, no formatting here at all. We'll pick out a Joe Shopper. Joe at domain.com. Confirm email. All this stuff should be required and should tell you and should complain, but it doesn't do any of that stuff right now. Billing, shipping. Obviously, if you just leave this checked, it's going to use the shipping is the same. We'll use a dummy credit card. This is going through authorized.net. These need to be fixed into drop downs. And of course, you would want to have a confirmation page, and even a multi-step thing across the top if you want. And that'll all be configurable. Check it out. Do a checkout. Yay! First order. You're going to get an email, but no, not really. So now if we jump back here, we'll refresh our back end, and there we go. So top sellers for today, tennis shoes, test died 1. I guess I should have a subtotal there, but I don't. And here's our orders. This obviously doesn't work yet because editing is a major deal. So I just have it dumping information here. So here's the email, here's the order, cart, customer. I have it broken out into either guest customer, so if you check out as a guest, it'll save your customer data off. Or if you're a registered customer, it saves it off in a different spot. I don't know if that's good or bad. What I've found is that you get so many guest customers that it's nice to have them in their own table, really, rather than mixed in with your registered customers. But then you have to tie up their orders and stuff. Latitude and longitude, that was geocoded when we placed the order. Here's our payment info through authorize.net, blah, blah, blah. Transaction ID, authorization code, customer information manager. That is so that once the order is placed, if you're familiar with Authorize, we store their information along with the credit card and all that stuff up at Authorize. That way, if they call up and want to make a change and there's an adjustment on the order, whether it be plus or minus dollars, we can use the CIM to make those changes against credit card up at Authorize without having to store off any of their info. And then here's the items. If there's options, they're here, and this will all be obviously a nice display with a product image and links and all the stuff that you would expect. There's still a lot missing here. Let's jump down to products. We'll look at a product pretty quickly here. You can add products. I'm not going to add one, but I'll just show you the screen. This is a real rough cut validation, but these the way I've got it set up now is cost. You enter cost. So for instance, we'll go to a regular existing product. We'll go to the tennis shoes, and so you'll enter a cost, and then we have a cost multiplier. So if I change the cost multiplier to, I don't know, 2.5, not 205, that would be pretty bad, 2.5, and the price just the $37.50. I can switch them to a different category. These attributes come from a, we'll save this off. Let's make sure it worked. Let's go to shoes, tennis shoes. I should have the price here, but I don't. But you can see now it's $37.50. These product attributes come from here, and you can have them set the order. So if you create a new one, anything you want, I'm not going to create one right now, but if you do, then it will attach that attribute to all of products, and none of them are required, of course, so that it doesn't matter if you create one and you need the data down here. You don't have to go back. I eventually have a bulk update that you can set them all. So for instance, in the past I've worked with custom products that have a production time and a delivery time. You can figure out, okay, you're going to wait. Once your order is placed and the product information is sent to the manufacturer or the vendor, whatever, within X days it's gonna ship. And then once it ships, you can expect it to get it in other X to Y days. This can be whatever you want. It can be additional product information or whatever. And then I just have straight little tab system up here. So product images. You can have as many as you want. So let's pick one. There's my man, Valentino Rossi. Well, that's not him, but he's a super fan like I am. I have a maximum of 2 megabytes of file size, so that one's too big. That looks good. Let's upload the Ducati. We'll call it Ducati. Needs to get fixed. Display order, don't worry about that for now. Okay, there they are. So now we're looking at it in a list, but we can look at it as grid it added to the end here. You can drag these around. So, for instance, if I want the Ducati, that's a sexy looking picture. Let's put that one up front. These guys, and I don't know what this bird is. I saw the picture. I thought it was funny. So save it off. It's test item. Let's jump back over here. We'll go to test category. Now test item has the Ducati as its primary picture. And they're in the order that we drug around at here. And if you let them sit, they will. How about those guys? They'll go. Let's go ahead and we'll order one. We'll order two. Add the cart. Check out. Go with Joe again. I think he's got his email saved off. I do. '02 of 2020. Check out. Excuse me. All right, there's order number 2. Back over here. Let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, there's our order. Order ID number 2. There it is. There's all his info. And this check-in info. And then test items now. So that's pretty much it for now. There's much more to go. But product categories, you can create as many of those as you want. Images, there can be as many images as you want. There's only one on most of them, I think, right now. But on the also, I'm jumping around here, but now on products, for instance, let's pick product. Product images, options. As I said, the options can, each option can have as many pictures as you want. It's going to pick first one here, and then option items. So I've got a variant, and I jump down here, and we'll save it. But then we click the variant images here. I may or may not have any. I've only got one. So there's the image. It's the same picture as the other one. But you could have as many as you want. And the idea behind that being that, for instance, if we jump over here and we pick an item, these can change. For instance, it's a list right now with some options. I may want to have an icon here that you click, and then the block opens up and shows you all the items. You can click on them, various. So the thinking here is, let's say it's a car part or something, and you want to have various shots of the item, maybe with some measurements. And then if there's other options down below that, for instance, let's say that it's piece that's anodized and it's got various colors, red, green, blue, whatever. You could have various shots at. And then the second thought is that this will change. You can have the opportunity to change the view just like we do here, so that instead of looking at it as a list, I can say, well, show me what the grid view looks like, and that would have the images, or the primary image, and then down below the various option images. Just maybe for mobile it would be easier. Just the specific product, who knows. But anyway, I'm thinking that we're about done here because there's not a lot else going on. Orders, pending orders. This is pretty much the same view as you get right here. And when an order comes in, it's obviously in a pending state. Your payment's approved, but the order itself, you may want to review it, decide that it's not any good, cancel it for fraud, or cancel it in general. Maybe the customer calls right back in and says, oh, I made a mistake in my order. Well, that's when you'd want to click here and hope it does something more than that at that point. And you can edit the order, and then, of course, if it results in a charge or a credit, authorize.net will handle that. And I've just got authorized now, but others will be coming. PayPal. The problem with PayPal is you don't have the flexibility to do all those edits and changes and things like that that you do with authorize. On PayPal, either buy it or refund the whole thing. I'm not sure. I haven't spent that much time with PayPal because it's pretty really basic for what I'm trying to do here. Stripe is another one. I have not used Stripe, but I know a lot of people do. I'm not 100% familiar with all the functionality that Stripe has, but we'll get there. So that's it. Jump back. Orders. I think my cart's empty. Yeah. Get home. These images appear at the top. Will be configurable in the back end. Come on. Go. There it goes. So for instance, if you have a sale, you'd want your sale banner up there, and then you'd control that on a schedule that says that that banner is going to show for between X days, maybe January 1st or January 5th, from midnight to 1 second after midnight until 11:59. That way, and you can set the times in as well. I don't have that, but I've done that in the past. So for instance, let's say we're selling in the U.S., you'll want that banner to display from starting on the East Coast and ending on the West Coast. So it's actually midnight on the East Coast, 4 hours before it's midnight on the West Coast. So you want to make sure that it stays up that entire period of time. Internationally, you may just say use the date, and we'll just go from there, or manually set it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks.